Hey, good evening. So, the question and the topic is what causes degradation of the human body? So, Dr. Peterman, what do you think about that in particular?
I think it starts out with the day you're born. You begin to uh, suffer a lot of things in the environment. That's one of the things, and also we're subjected to a lot of chemicals in the environment as we grow up. A lot of people have questions about childhood vaccinations for the age of 6 months because there is no immunity in the human body. The body has not developed anything to actually do that. There's a lot of other things, but I will refer to as the degradation of the human body is what I would call aging, and later on you end up with ultimately death. And so somewhere in between, we're supposed to carve out what we call life. And so, you have any questions about that in one way or the other?
Yeah, as
Where you're going with
far as this process for degradation of the human body, where does that start, and what in particular, like how does that occur? This idea of degradation, like what do you mean by that exactly?
Okay, a lot of scientists will tell you that the human body begins to deteriorate once it's born, simply because of the burning of oxygen in the human body, and you have a lot of effort now to do antioxidant materials. You take that in. Basically, what we're talking about is the process of life actually produces something that eventually kills us, and that is that as a piece of metal rusts or iron rusts, the human body rusts as well, and the cells are deteriorated by the action or the oxidation of oxygen in the body. So we do a lot of things to make repairs on that, and but unfortunately our food is not as good as it once was, perhaps many years ago. I mean, we don't live on the side of a volcanic mountain with high quality food in that sense there. So it's just a destruction of the body by additives that are added into food, that kind of thing. Now, I will tell you that you're the best you're ever going to be at 28 biologically, because that's when you have the most mitochondria in your cells. And mitochondria are the little materials that are inside every human cell, living cell, and the mitochondria supply the energy that you need to make those cells healthy. And you have the most mitochondria in all of your human cells at age 28 approximately. And after that, you begin to lose that. And in our society, you begin to lose fairly quickly. I'm astounded now of how many people I see in their mid and late 30s who already have gray hair. A lot of ladies have a long gray hair.
I've noticed that too.
And it's like, whoa, when I was a child, I never saw that. Of course, I'm a couple of years away from being 70, so I remember a different bunch of people a long time ago. So, now we're seeing the results of eating out of a box, eating fast food, eating nutritionless food. How we stay alive, I don't know. I see people in restaurants giving their children a cola drink for breakfast along with some kind of a sugary product. And I'm thinking, how are these children supposed to build the body? I don't understand it. So what else do you have for me on that?
Just to clarify what you're saying, eating things that aren't natural could affect that or increase that degradation, like with preservatives?
Absolutely, sure. The degradation depends. To have degradation, you have to build something in the first place. And so the process of building the human body for children, we're looking at situations where we're not even building the human body properly in the first place. So degradation, by the time they get into their 20s or 30s, you're going to see rapid aging now because of the poor quality of eating to build a body. I remember my grandmother saying, "You got to eat your vegetables. You got to eat some collard greens. You have to eat this and that." I didn't like it, but I ate it, and I've been healthy most of my life because I never. If I had a what we didn't call it cold, we called it soda water. That was a colloquial expression, and where I grew up. And you might get one once or twice a month if you were lucky. It was not something you had in the refrigerator. It might be something that you got when you went to town or something, or maybe went once a month to a movie. You look forward to it. But nowadays, it's, get a Coke out of the refrigerator and have it for breakfast along with a Pop-Tart or something. I'm astounded that parents don't realize that if you put these people in charge of building a wall, you would think they're using sponges and mushrooms to build the wall instead of bricks. What kind of health problems are the children going to have later on? I don't understand it. I wouldn't let my kids eat the way kids are eating today. I don't want my kids, even my children are close to 40 now. They've never had cavities in their entire life. Not one. And it's like, whoa, this is incredible. But it's a reflection on the fact that their bodies were constructed properly in the beginning.
Raised properly.
So, what other question you have on that?
Okay. So, as far as degradation of the human body and the human cells, is it possible to slow this process down or avoid this? Because it sounds like you mentioned oxidation was part of it. How does that coincide with aging in itself?
Well, oxidation is the monster that's hiding in the closet for mitochondria. Mitochondria keep our cells happy, alive, effective, full of energy, and oxidation can burn mitochondria up in living cells. It can burn out mitochondria so that eventually you don't have enough mitochondria to keep your body going and you die. Mitochondria is pretty much the key to staying alive. Healthy mitochondria is the key to staying alive healthy. Who wants to live to 95 hooked up with a bunch of machines? You're not dying, but
you might as well be at that point.
You might as well.
Unfortunately,
it's sad. And I hear people say, "Well, I'm going to enjoy life," and they've got their cigarette and they've got their Coke and their donut or whatever. And okay, fine, enjoy life now. What's going to happen later? Oh, I don't care. Okay. Well, what if you don't just drop dead of coronary arterial sclerosis, hardening of the arteries, or a heart attack? What if you don't? What if you slowly decline? And now you're in some facility where people have to take care of you continuously. I see people pulling around some kind of cart to get oxygen because they smoke coffin nails all their lives. It's like, okay, but didn't you know that? I don't know. I asked a friend of mine that I went to high school with. I said, I looked at him, I said, gosh, he looks 75 years old, and this was 20 years ago. I said, do you have another body hanging in the closet you're going to change into when you've worn this one out? Of course, he died of cancer 15 years ago in his late 50s. Okay, wow. He lived hard and died young.
Right.
That's okay, that's fine. I think mine tends to be, why I'm so negative and critical, is I don't take life lightly. I have seen situations, I've been to many places in the world, and I've seen how precious that is to people. And if you view life as a very precious gift, you're not going to fiddle it away. So that's one of the problems we have in this country of having everything. We just, in the United States, we just have everything. So we don't seem to understand there's value in just living from day to day. You don't have to have something plugged into your ears and watching something on TV. You can go sit in the park and watch people go by and soak in the atmosphere. I mean, there's a lot to life in just taking it all in. Go for a walk in a park somewhere. Go on a hike. Disconnect yourself. That's my philosophy for today.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the discussion about the degradation of the human body and the ultimate aging of the human body and some of the things that we can do. Avoid what's in a box. We've talked about it in the past, and we'll talk about it again. I thank you for joining us. This is Jerry for Challenge Life Better with
David.
Have a great one.
Be well.